But I had this.
That's not the first
Well, that's not public.
Never underestimate.
Text from Jack.
I know.
You want me to? She was working on something. Stupid thing.
At 11:45 after the DF comes.
Yeah.
What was her name?
Oh, yeah, she's all right.
At 7 o'clock, let's call the meeting to order. Brian, please lead us in the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This first meeting for approval of the budget.
Yes.
Roll call, please.
Patton.
Here.
Ring.
Here.
Chapman.
Here.
Fox.
Here.
Tyler.
Here.
Shearhart.
Here.
Drake.
Any public comment regarding the 2024-25 budget?
Are you going to approve of the agenda first?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, yeah, approve the agenda, thank you.
I'll support.
All in favor of approval of agenda March 13, 2024, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Public comment? No new business. Action item. We had a budget meeting February 24th outlining the 2024 budget as recommended by our accountant. We're here tonight to approve the resolution to implement the 2024-2025 fiscal year budget. Anybody on the board have any questions about the budget? All right, I'd like to make a motion to approve the resolution to implement the 2024-2025 fiscal year budget.
I'll support.
Roll call, please.
Patton.
Yes.
Ring.
Yes.
Chapman.
Yes.
Fox.
Yes.
Tyler.
Yes.
Shearhart.
Yes.
Drake.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Miss public comment.
Oh, yeah, public comment, thank you. All right, check that one off the list. I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
I'll support.
All in favor of adjournment?
Aye.
Thank you. Close that meeting out.
7:02.
I'd like to. Oh.
We are good.
I'd like to call to order the regular board meeting Wednesday, March 13, 2024. Let's do roll call again.
Patton.
Here.
Ring.
Here.
Chapman. Fox. Tyler.
Here.
Shearhart. Drake.
Here. Number 4, approval of the agenda, March 13, 2024.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
All in favor of approval of the agenda, March 13, 2024, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Number 5, approval of the minutes of February 14, 2024.
Make a motion to approve the minutes of February 14th, 2024 meeting.
I'll support.
All in favor of approval of the agenda, February
No,
4.
the meeting. Minutes.
Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah, approval of the minutes, February 14, 2024, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Public comment, let's see, Mr. Malador is here.
Hi, everybody. I'm Matt Milnor. I know most of you.
I'm not on your agenda, but I'm not gonna take up a lot of your time. I just wanted to come here, introduce myself, let you know I'm running for Nation County Sheriff, I'll be a candidate in August. If you guys have any questions for me at the end of the meeting, I'll stick around. But I don't want to take up any of your time because I'm not in the business, so. I know most of you, but there's new faces, so. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yep.
Jess?
You knew it. The Antrim County Commissioners got their medical examiner's report a month and a half ago now. And a couple things kind of worrisome to me anyway. The number of ordered toxicologies that were ordered by the examiner over the last year increased by about 65% from 12 to 20. And that basically means that you have someone who dies and you think that they died due to drugs. So that's not a good sign. Also, the number of suicides were up. Not a whole lot there. I think it was 2, but I guess 2 is too many. So the other thing, the Antrim County Soil Erosion Officer will be moving from working under the Conservation District to working under the Building Department. We're hoping to make that change this fall. The soil erosion officer we have right now is a gentleman by the name of Kyle Williams, and he took a job still working with the Conservation District, but he's going to be working with Cape Sisma, which they work on invasive species in our lakes in Antrim County. And there's been a number of other counties in Michigan that have moved the soil erosion officer under the building department. And they've had pretty good success because around 3/4 of the time that the soil erosion officer is needed is when there's a new construction, there's a new house being built, whole barn. You're moving dirt to build something, and that's when you need a permit for that. So the building department is going to be out there anyways on a regular basis, so it just made sense to kind of move the soil erosion officer under there. They're still going to respond to other concerns, runoff, that type of thing, but just a change in their department head, I guess. The road commission gave their report to the county commissioners, and so far it looks like they're going to have a lot of salt and sand left over for next year, so that's good. I think that's all I had, unless there's any questions.
So with the medical examiner's report, are the commissioners going to, are they, if there's concern about the increase of drug deaths, are they going to allocate any resources or mental health resources or anything like that? Or is it just, we need to be aware that the medical examiner is requesting more toxicology reports?
That report was kind of submitted for information, but you are correct in that we are keeping up to date on people who are troubled, have a mental instability. I'm on the North Country Community Mental Health, and our numbers have gone up too. So if there's people that are interested, the North Country Community Mental Health offers mental health first aid classes every year. I think you can sign up online. They, I think they're offering them 3 times this year. Last year, I think they did it twice. So the class is online, so it's a 2-day class. It's like from 9 to noon or 9 to 1, I forget, but for 2 days.
Jairus, does the county have any idea what they're gonna do with the $236,000 that fell into the lap from cannabis revenue sharing?
I have not heard exactly
That
where.
seems, every year it disappears.
I asked twice on 2 different things about possibilities of spending that, and I didn't get a second, so.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Public comments?
Threw me off my game here.
Sorry, go ahead.
I'll just. But
Oh, I got you on the agenda though.
just to follow up on Jared's,
Okay.
your question for where the 238,000 is going. as a canvas operator in the county and person in the county, I'd be happy to join any meetings and help offering ideas and resources on our side that might help the county. Think of some different ways on how to spend that, just based on clientele that's coming in and bringing in that revenue.
Thank you.
It's really nice.
Any other public comment? All right, close up public comment. Police report, Scott.
Great, thank you. Hopefully everybody got a chance to look at the report. So the numbers are up. I think we're kind of up about 50% from last month. The increase is basically because we have 2 new officers working. So they're currently working right now about 30 hours a week between the 2 of them. So kind of roughly about 15 hours a week for 2 of them. We've got they're just popping in where it kind of fits into their schedule, which is actually kind of nice because it kind of surprises some people sometimes, I think. So they're making a lot more traffic stops. You can see, I think last month we had, I think I had 1 or 2 traffic stops. They're up to 19 traffic stops. 15 warnings, 4 citations. And then you look down to the left-hand column as far as the other complaints that we've handled, miles that we traveled, and then we're back up as far as hours, because I'm putting more hours into the school, so that's kind of where we want it to be, and that's where we projected that's where it's going to be. So everything looks good on that side. On the right-hand side, it's everything else that's been handled by either the sheriff's department, the state police, fire, EMS, rescue, and DNR, and everybody else in between. So it kind of shows you the comparison. At the bottom, kind of a little bit of highlights. Obviously, the new guys are up and running. Extra time spent in school. As far as sporting events and stuff like that, district basketball and boys and girls. And both part-time guys, their vests are here, so that was kind of when we ordered their vests, they said 8 weeks, and I'm like, 8 weeks? But we were able to hook them up with some temporary vests and stuff like that so they could get going. So they had the branded vests. They're fully uniformed. They're kind of hitting forward running, so very happy. Any questions?
Classes going at this. How are they going?
I'm sorry.
How are your classes going?
Good, good. So today we had the fire department there and we did a little exercise with the JAWS and tearing car apart. One of the things that we did in conjunction with the class that we're doing up there, we kind of partnered with Lisa Hooverheit, who's one of the teachers, and we started a Trojan Traffic program that has to do with distracted and under the influence driving. So it's more of an educational thing. So we're doing various different outreach programs. A couple months ago, we did a lot of information stuff, handed out some literature, brochures, put those little Trojan Traffic signs around town. This one is we had an exercise where we talked to the kids today about distracted driving, getting in accidents, and what happens. Not that you just got in an accident now. EMS has to respond, fire has to respond, law enforcement has to respond, and the responsibility that we have in order to make sure that they're safe and other people are safe and stuff like that. So I think the kids kind of enjoyed it. It was all of high school and middle school that was out in the parking lot while we tore the car apart. So we have one more exercise where we're going to do some simulation with computers and stuff like that. And the state police are going to help out with that and do some more training as far as educating the kids on what concerns are and stuff like that. So, but besides that, everything else was going good. We probably have, I think I did a calendar, we have like 9 more weeks of school left. We're going to try to squeeze in this CERT program, which is the Community Emergency Response Program. Last year we did it with high school kids, and we were the only second high school in the nation to ever do it. So it teaches the kids about responding to emergencies, whether it's a disaster or an accident or terrorism or something like that. So it kind of gives them a taste that the county has a CERT program for adults that, if something happens in Central Lake, obviously we don't have the resources to handle that. We're going to have the county, we're going to have state, and we also have a lot of civilians that are already trained to do a lot of that response stuff. And so this is getting the kids a step in the right direction. We've already done the AED, CPR, first aid, and stuff like that, so they all carry that certification. This will be another national certification that they'll carry when they leave the class. So if they decide to continue on with anything to do with public safety, whether it's law enforcement, fire or EMS, they can do that within the start of their training. So.
Guy will report to me what the best candidates are.
Yes. So this week we're working on fire, so we'll be at your station this next week on kind of a field trip, if you want to call it that. So we're going to be a couple trips to your guys' station this week, and then sometime in the near future, we're going to go down to the sheriff's department and see the courts, or the jail, and see all those other aspects and stuff too. So we usually kind of do that in the springtime when it gets a little bit nicer and we can get out. So we have 10 students, so that kind of give you an idea.
And then you get a lot more than that at the extra fee.
Oh yeah, it was the whole high school, the whole middle school that were out there. So. Any other questions? Great, thank you.
Thanks, Scott. DPW report, John Schwartz.
Yeah, February, pretty slow month, a little snow plowing, a lot of shop work. I guess the only event this February, we got out and did some water, some meter repairs that we typically want to do in the winter. Other than that, not a lot to report on the month.
If anybody has been in the DPW garage lately, I'd like to commend John on the organization that we're finally getting.
Let's have an open house.
We have tools in the right spot. They're not laying all over the floor. They have shelving. It's starting to look like a real shop.
Nice.
Work in progress, don't. Multi-year project.
Open house
Open
tomorrow.
house.
Well, there's stuff everywhere right now, so.
Yes,
I talked to you a few months ago about the road signs, the street signs rather in town. Some of them are faded out, so you can't read them at all.
Yeah, and we did talk a little about that when you're going over the budget, where just take a little bit every year, we do a few every year. Yeah. That'll get ordered this spring.
The ones that we got the last time are the ones that are fading out, so we might look at something else.
The orange and blue ones.
Yeah, they're just,
Now, we'll just, if you're all right, I'll just go back with the green.
if they face to the south, they're just, you can't read them at all.
Yeah, I'll just go back to green with the white lettering and, yeah, I'll definitely pick the section and
Yeah, the blues are typical for private roads anyways.
yeah, better that, some stop signs to do and some other signs. Yeah, we're gonna start on it.
Appreciate it, thank you.
Thank you, John. Let's see, president report, I've got nothing. Correspondence, Ellie, do we have any correspondence?
Nope, not this month.
Number 9, approval of the bills.
The prepaid bills are that high because we took $500,000 from Alden State Bank and moved it to Forefront. So really, we only spent around $30,091.77.
I'll make a motion to approve the bills. Sure.
Roll call, please.
I'm sorry, who just seconded it?
Bill.
Oh, thank you. Patton,
Yes.
Ring,
Yes.
Chapman,
Yes.
Fox,
Yes.
Tyler,
Yes.
Shearhart,
Yes.
Drake.
Old business, council members, in front of you, you have the ordinance letter that we are sending out to every resident in the village in regards to that, we're starting to enforce the village codes. We talked about it, Scott's looked at the letter, Michelle wrote the letter along with myself, and I want to thank Michelle for taking the time to do all that. My writing skills are poor. That's right.
Rod?
Yep.
I noticed you mentioned you were gonna send it to all the village residents. What about the property owners that are not residents?
Good question.
Sending it to all the property owners.
All the property owners. So,
Okay,
We're sort of using residents and property owners interchangeably, and that's not the same thing. But, anybody that gets a water bill, correct?
I did everyone who pays village taxes.
oh. And then on the back, you can see the, we also put the exact wording for each of the most common violations, dismantled cars, and junk. Questions regarding the ordinance letter? Close that one up. New business, A, Barry Cole, probate judge candidate presentation. Take it away, Barry.
Thank you. Hope nobody minds if I stand in front of the flag.
Nope.
Christians tend to do that all the time.
There you go.
Well, I'm here tonight to tell you about my candidacy for Antrim County Probate Court. This particular election is more important than meeting anyone who's been in our lifetime. Judge Hayes is retiring after 24 years, so it's an open seat. Secondly, what makes this really important is that the courts are changing. And I'm sure you've read in the paper the fact that the district and probate court are going to be combined in one fashion or another. Now, apparently, the state court administrator has said that the probate judge will take over the district court calendar, which is fine with me, by the way. I've done both. But I guess what's really important about this is they don't know whether it's just going to be the judge doing the district court or whether they're actually going to combine the two courts so that there's essentially one administration for both of them. I guess that's up in the air at this point. The only point I want to make is I have over 40 years in both courts. I've been a public defender in both courts, which means I've handled hundreds of cases in these courts. So if anybody can make this work, it's me. I can bring these two courts together. I can try and save us money. That's really the whole point here. And frankly, bring some of the services back to Antrim County that everybody has to go to Grand Traverse for. See that. So, in essence, what I'm trying to say is this is probably the most important probate court election we've ever had. I would very much like to fill that position. I'm from Antrim County. I'm a Mansalona High School graduate, so is my wife and my two daughters. I've been practicing law in Antrim County for 42 years. I've done, I think, everything that could be done in those two courts. I can't really imagine a matter that I haven't handled at least one of. And kind of, I think it's important to understand we're changing, our population is changing here. We're becoming more of a retirement community. What's going to be more important, as I understand, and in fact, talking to court personnel, they've noticed it, an increase in guardianships for older people, incapacitated folks. There's two types, minors and incapacitated folks. And we're going to see a lot more of the latter. And I think it's important to have someone who's been there, done that. I've helped people in guardianships. I've seen some guardianships go really wrong. I think it's good to have a senior, by the way, I'm 68 years old, to have a senior deciding whether you lose your independence. Because that's what we're talking about here in guardianship. You're basically taking somebody and saying, if you don't have control of your life anymore, this person does, just like your parent now. You go all the way back. So in other words, it's going to be more important. I think it's an area that I'm very interested in and could do some good in. Let's see, district court, as I said, I've been a public defender there for decades. I think there's some efficiencies we could create in the district court. Of course, like any mechanic, you tell them they actually look under the hood, they can't be certain what they need to do. But I've been there long enough to think of a few areas that I'd certainly like to look into and see if we can be more efficient. So I won't take up any more of your time. I have provided the board with my open letter to the Antrim County voters. And if I may, I'd like to pass that out to everyone else that's here. And I'm going to stick around, just like you, after the meeting, because I have my nominating petition, and I'd be just thrilled if anybody would like to sign it. Understand the nominating petition only says that you'd like to see me on the ballot. Doesn't mean you're going to vote for me, doesn't mean you're going to support me, it just means that I should be on the ballot. So if anyone would like to sign that, I'll be put on that for the meeting, and I would greatly appreciate that. Well, thank you for your time tonight.
Thank you.
Well, I gotta say, the last meeting I was at was 2 hours long. You guys are really efficient.
Yeah.
We're not done yet.
All right, Kelly, possible revision of the marijuana ordinance.
My turn. Okay, hi everybody. So, I wanted to give you guys some of these, I didn't give them to you in advance, but, I wanted to talk to you tonight about Kratom, and the new hemp products that are being distributed out in the market. And there's just one copy of each thing. I was hoping maybe Ally could make copies after the meeting and let you guys take a look. Where my concern lies, you guys, is that when President Trump signed the Farm Bill to legalize hemp, he made it very broad. There was no specific terminology on salts, isomers, derivatives, all of this chemistry stuff. And what's happened is when hemp became legal, then everybody started growing it, and then all these companies had too much. And the prices dropped. It went from like $10 a unit down to less than $1 a unit, which was significant, right? I'm still selling through two different $10,000 batches I bought in 2018 and 2019. I'm still selling through those. So here you have these large corporations that are producing hemp products that are paying chemists to create all these new cannabinoids. Meanwhile, you have pharmaceutical companies that are making synthetic cannabinoids. Nothing is regulated except for my world in marijuana. There's no lab tests. There's no safety and security to make sure that those crops are actually safe. There's the way that the verbiage is written, there's a lot of loopholes, and that's exactly what the hemp industry has done. So if you might recall, some of you board members, in 2019 when I came and I said, I want to start this new project. I want to give THCA to cancer patients and to veterans for free. It's not going to get them high. Can I do that out of my building down here? It would conflict technically with your marijuana ordinance. And you guys said, no, if you want to open a dispensary, well, anyways, here I am, I have a dispensary now, and I have these non-psychoactive THCA that I give away to cancer patients and to veterans. And I did it all underneath of super expensive marijuana regulations, because I'm trying to follow by the rules. Meanwhile, you have the corner store down the street selling hemp pre-rolls, which are essentially hemp cigarettes, that are added in the THCA, which is not psychoactive until you heat it. Now, when you heat it, it becomes delta-9 THC. So they have this complete loophole to sell through all of this hemp product, adding in additional concentrate that will get people high for a fraction of the cost, with no regulation. You have, this is popping up everywhere, gas stations, grocery stores across the country. States now, and you'll see, Minnesota just passed a ban. Arizona, or Minnesota's talking about it. Arizona just passed a ban on being able to sell these products in gas stations and grocery stores, because Florida is currently working on it. Now, my CBD company is actually based out of Florida, because in 2018, when I formed it, I wasn't legal in Michigan, so I formed it in Florida. Okay, great. Now Florida is cracking down on all of these synthetic cannabinoids, and that's sitting on the desk of the governor to sign. So Florida is getting on board of regulating these products and making it to where you can't get access to them unless you're in a regulated space. So in my store, I can't sell pop or cake or cookies, anything that's not regulated, I can't sell in my store. So and I have to pay taxes on everything, and I don't even get any write-offs on any profits that I make, right? So the playing field isn't fair. And I didn't want to bring this to you guys because the playing field isn't fair. I wanted to bring it to you because my concern is you have these unregulated products being sold in our town that are getting people high. There's technically no age restriction on them. The only thing our governor has done to this date has banned the sale of Delta-9 or Delta-8, which was a modification of CBD turned into a middle of the road, won't get you super high, but will get you high. So those products are being sold in Texas, North Carolina, all the states that haven't approved marijuana at all. They're being sold in gas stations and grocery stores. Georgia now has a lawsuit against 12 of the largest marijuana companies that are also getting into the world of the hemp side of things and making profits every place that they go. Because at the end of the day, they don't care about customers, they care about profits. There is no science to show whether these things are safe or not. I started playing with different cannabinoids that are in that hemp side. One particular one is THCP. It's up to 30 times more psychoactive than Delta-9 THC. What I found for myself is it doesn't get you super high, but it gets you high and it lasts longer. Okay, great. If you're buying that from my store, you know you're walking out with something that's going to get you high. If you're buying it off the shelf at a gas station or anywhere else, you don't know what you're getting. So it comes down to, and then there's kratom. And I've always had a very yucky feeling in my stomach about kratom. And why our government has not done anything to regulate it is beyond me. Now, credit card companies are shutting down some businesses if they're found selling kratom, because kratom has the addictive tendencies as bad as heroin. So anybody who comes in with a tendency, with an addiction to kratom, has to be treated like they have a heroin addiction. Kratom is being sold in our town. There's no regulation on it. So I bring it to you as a council to strongly consider revising your ordinance. I'll be happy to sit down and look at all the scientific terms of how we would want it drafted to basically say, unregulated products that create high-inducing effects are not welcome in our town unless there's a license for it that you can get. And at that point, you get the option as council to approve that instead of leaving it an open door. So you can look at it as small as a municipality, or you can wait for the state. That's up to you. But I wanted to bring it to your attention. It's going rapidly. I would suspect some of the toxicology has part of those aspects in it. Speaking to a recovery coach who works for Munson Behavioral Services, she said that kratom is definitely upticked in terms of who they're seeing coming into the hospital and the severity of trying to treat these people. I don't know if you've seen it at all, Scott, but it definitely is concerning to me. And the fact that, here we're still, more than half the country has some form of legalized marijuana, whether it's medical or adult use. And our government still can't figure out how to get it legalized. They're too busy arguing over all the other politics that go behind everything else that runs this country, instead of getting something done, which you've seen now has driven revenue into your village. That could build revenue for a whole government. So I just really ask you, as a local government, to consider taking a look at restricting these other substances from being able to be sold in any place.
Kelly, do you know of any municipalities that have adopted an ordinance that is similar to what you're suggesting?
Not in Michigan. I'm only following the national headlines.
But can we enact an ordinance that's more restrictive than the state law?
Sure you can.
Yeah, like dry counties, how we used to do.
Yeah, same thing with your social district, right? The state doesn't allow you to have open booze on the streets, but we allow it here within a certain area. So.
Kelly sent me an article, I think right after our meeting last month, about kratom, and I think she sent it to Rob also. And if anybody has a chance to look that stuff up, it's nasty. And I think Jairus gave his report tonight on the amount of Antrim County citizens that, the different drug overdoses and stuff. I think if there's any way possible that we can regulate it somehow, I think we should try to do it.
How do you spell kratom?
Kratom. I would happen to be in Sedona in November, and I was in a class, and that lady was mom, and she said, my daughter's in college, and she just messaged me you know, and her roommate said she should try Cravens because it'll give her energy. I said, no, God, I mean, what's she trying to do? Is she trying to calm her anxiety? Okay, we can try CBD, you know, try different things, but don't go Craven because that's just opening up, you know, for somebody who's been in recovery for nicotine addiction for 7 years and alcohol, which wasn't an addiction for me, but still, being a part of the recovery community for the last 6 years, I've seen so many things that I'm just really passionate about being that steward in the community. I brought cannabis here, and so I feel like it's kind of my duty to keep you guys informed and let you make the decision what you feel is best for our community.
Thanks for bringing that to us, Kelly.
We're gonna make copies so all the board members can look it over, and then we'll discuss it. What'll have to happen is I'll have to make it an action item, be more specific as to what we wanna do, get the verbiage correct, and loop in Brian Graham, the attorney. And he'll have to, I know nothing about it, so we'll have to bring him in, and you'll have to educate him.
There's also, just for reference, and you know, psychedelics are also kind of hand in hand going along the side of marijuana reform. And it's actually showing that that's probably going to get legalized before marijuana. Why do psychedelics matter? They're proving to help people with PTSD, anxiety, it's all of the really extreme mental health things, but in a clinical setting. There's a place for it. I actually went to a place in Costa Rica and did it, and that's what helped me get into the whole world of recovery and be able to quit smoking cigarettes after 22 years. So I'm a believer in it. I'm a believer in using plants as medicine, but being done in a methodical way, not selling mushroom gummies or candy bars at the store because they can. Right now, there's a species of psychedelic mushrooms called the Amanita muscaria, and they're being sold all over the place. I had a vendor send me free samples, and they're calling me every day wanting to know what they found. And I haven't, whatever. I will try them when I have a chance, because I want to know what they do. But I don't want to see those on the street just anywhere. They should be regulated, and again, it could be 2 or 3 years before we ever get to regulating. And every time you regulate one specific thing, the chemists, whatever, come out with 10 more things, just like the synthetic, the opioids, all of those things. So it's just a matter of staying on top of it. I watch the Drug Intelligence Bulletin, which comes out almost every few days, that's written by a police officer, talks about all the things. Ketamine that's getting sent to people in their homes for ketamine therapy. There's just, it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Well, thank you, Kelly. Yeah, we'll get all that together, and then we'll discuss it further. Let's see, action items. We've got the first 4 action items refer to the fishing pier project and the kayak launch. And before you, council members, you have the renderings, the pictures and everything else from Gordy Fraser and Associates. They're about to put their grant proposal into the DNR. So that's what you're looking at there. There's 2 different grants we're going for each of them, Recreation Passport and the Trust Fund grant. So we have to pass a resolution for each one individually. And that's where we're at on that. So let's go first with the Lake Street Fishing Pier. And that's the one that says Intermediate River at the very top. And this is village-owned property.
EPA compliance, I mean, it's gonna be like an EPA fishing pier, right?
Correct.
I just talked to Mike about this, and I was kind of surprised at the amount of village committed funds. Where would that money come from?
We have our ARPA money that we still have not touched yet, but we have touched it a little bit. We gave the employees the $2,000 3 years ago. We still have $88,000.
And that ARPA money is for, it was suggested that, you know, outdoor projects be the focus because of the indoor issues with the pandemic and things like that.
We would only go for one of the two, so on the off chance we've got both of them, we'd have to turn down one.
Okay, so one, we won't pursue both of it.
Yeah, correct. We're only gonna put our eggs in one basket, but we can apply
We can
for
apply for
both
both.
and pull out one we don't want. And we're going for, like I said, 2 grants for each one at the same time.
Okay, that makes sense.
On the Lake Street one here. Remember, I don't know, a year and a half ago or something, the property owner adjacent to that, to the south side of it.
I think that hard.
Yep, she was concerned about trespassers on her property, but I don't see anything for any kind of barricade or anything like that.
No,
Shouldn't there be something? Or you just?
I would like to cross that bridge when we come to it, to see if there will be kids hanging out there half the night.
Oh, well, yeah, that's one thing.
I mean,
As far as the dollars are concerned, it's not there. There's nothing there.
no, we didn't add anything to it yet. We can add the fence later, if we want to.
Well, yes,
A fence.
that's not very expensive.
No, that was something we'd add later.
Mhm.
And frankly, if I was a property owner, I don't know if I'd want to look at a fence along there. And I'd like, well, I won't start on how much
Well,
things go on down there, the nefarious activity she speaks of.
no, I don't know.
Well, I think
Zero,
it's-
correct.
Pardon?
Zero serious activity right now.
I don't know.
I think it's a great idea to at least apply.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
costing us much to apply. So you're looking for a motion on number one there?
Number one, if you go to the last 2 pages of the Lake Street ADA Fishing Pier, you'll see the 2 resolutions.
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution of local support for the fishing pier.
Yep.
I'll second that.
We're spending money, possibly. Ellie, let's do some roll call, please.
I thought this was just to pass the resolution for support, so we can send.
We have A's and, we have to do this whole portion of
It has to do with money. Okay.
it. Yeah.
Okay. Patton,
Yes.
Ring,
Yes.
Chapman,
Yes.
Fox,
Yes.
Tyler,
Yep.
Shearhart,
Yes.
Drake.
All right, so that approved those 2 grants for the ADA fishing pier on Lake Street. Let's turn our attention to the Intermediate Lake ADA kayak launch. The village contribution on this one's a little less, $68,000.
I'll make the motion to approve the resolution for the kayak launch.
Second.
I'll second it.
Mike did.
Mike did.
Mike already do a roll call, please.
Roll call. Patton,
Yes.
Ring,
Yes.
Chapman,
Yes.
Fox,
Yes.
Tyler.
Yep.
Shearhart.
Yes.
Drake.
Yes. So that
Very good.
includes A through D. Turning the page over. E, open an account at Forefront for the Central Lake to Bel Air non-motorized trail. About a year ago, Central Lake, the village of Central Lake agreed to be the fiduciary to pursue a non-motorized trail between Bel Air, and Central Lake. If any money comes from that, we would just have the account at Forefront. Ally, am I missing anything on that?
Nope, that's it.
Why was Forefront chosen?
Because it's in Bel Air, and we already have a checking account with them.
We have a checking account here too.
Yeah. We decided Forefront because it's easier to access the money, and then if we have other municipalities that also contribute to it, even Forefront.
All right.
I'd like to make a motion to approve an account at Forefront Credit Union for the Central Lake to Bel Air non-motorized trail. Shane second, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Remove William Chapman, previous president pro tem, as signer from the Village Alden State Bank account. Michelle Fox is now the president pro tem, so this is just a housekeeping item.
Bill Chapman as the signer at Alden State Bank. Second that.
Shane second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Roll call.
Oh, we got to do roll call?
Patton,
Yes.
Ring,
Yes.
Chapman,
Yes.
Fox,
Yes.
Tyler,
Yes.
Shearhart,
Yes.
Drake.
Yes. G, and Michelle Fox, current president pro tem, as signer for the village's Alden State Bank accounts.
I'll make
It's the
that
same.
motion.
I'm sorry, go on.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second. All in favor of adding Michelle Fox, current president pro tem, as signer of the village's.
Roll
Alden-
call
Oh,
again.
Roll call. All right, thank you, Joe.
Patton, Ring,
Yes.
Chapman,
Yes.
Fox,
Yes.
Tyler,
Yep.
Shearhart, Drake.
13, public comment.
Yeah, Rob, just real quick, if you're curious, Banks Township and Central Lake Township spent all of their ARPA money on redoing Rushton Road. And Torch Lake Township spent all their ARPA money on a new fire truck. I believe it's a tanker, they built. They're a tanker pumper. And, I guess everybody knows that the county spent all their ARPA money to redo the exterior and more than, so. Just
Yeah.
some municipalities have been curious of what other municipalities have done with their ARPA money, so I just thought I'd share that.
Thank you.
I'll add one public comment.
All right.
Just, I would absolutely love to see more lights in town at night. Because when you drive through like Charlevoix or Bel Air, it's like lit up twinkly. And outside of Hawkins, and I know I need to do my car at my store to redo my front facade, so I've got some nice twinkly lights. But boy, would I love to see a few bucks go to wrapping those lights, so all year round, when you drive through Central Lake at night.
Maybe like white lights.
Yeah.
You need to wrap on the street poles.
Yeah,
That's what Charlotte does.
yeah, well, both ways, so that way it really creates that kind of fun.
Close public comment. Like to make a motion to adjourn. All in favor of adjournment, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you all.
7:47.